Who wrote Robinson Crusoe?
Daniel Defoe wrote Robinson Crusoe.
When was Robinson Crusoe published?
It was published in 1719.
What type of book is Robinson Crusoe?
It is an adventure novel and often considered one of the first English novels.
Who is the main character in the novel?
The main character is Robinson Crusoe.
What motivates Crusoe to go to sea?
Crusoe wants adventure and rejects his father's advice to live a steady, quiet life.
What happens to Crusoe's first ship?
His first ship is wrecked in a storm.
How does Crusoe end up on a deserted island?
Crusoe's ship is wrecked during a voyage and he is the only survivor.
How long does Crusoe stay on the island?
He stays on the island for 28 years.
What does Crusoe do to survive on the island?
Crusoe builds a shelter, grows crops, hunts animals and makes tools.
How does Crusoe meet Friday?
Crusoe saves Friday from a group of cannibals who were going to kill him.
What is Robinson Crusoe like as a character?
He is resourceful, adventurous and determined, but he also shows arrogance and colonial attitudes.
Who is Friday?
Friday is a man Crusoe rescues and befriends. He becomes Crusoe's companion and helper.
How does Crusoe treat Friday?
Crusoe treats Friday as a servant and teaches him English, religion, and European customs.
Does Crusoe have any family?
Yes, Crusoe has a father and mother, but he leaves them to pursue his own adventures.
What role does religion play in Crusoe's life?
Crusoe becomes deeply religious during his time on the island and sees his survival as God's will.
What is the main theme of Robinson Crusoe?
The main theme is survival and self-reliance.
How does the novel explore colonialism?
The novel shows Crusoe's dominance over the island and his treatment of Friday, reflecting European colonial attitudes.
What does the island symbolize?
The island symbolizes isolation, self-discovery, and human resilience.
How does the book deal with the idea of repentance?
Crusoe often reflects on his mistakes and sees his hardships as punishment for his sins, leading to personal growth.
What does Friday symbolize?
Friday symbolizes the colonized people and the unequal power dynamics of the colonial era.
What narrative style does the book use?
The book is written in the first person as if Crusoe is telling his own story.
Why is the novel considered realistic?
The novel includes detailed descriptions of Crusoe's survival techniques and everyday life.
Is Robinson Crusoe based on a true story?
No, but it is loosely inspired by the story of Alexander Selkirk, a sailor who lived on an island for 4 years.
What makes Robinson Crusoe a novel of the Enlightenment?
It emphasizes reason, individualism, and human ability to solve problems through ingenuity.
Why is Robinson Crusoe considered a classic?
It is one of the first novels written in English and explores universal themes like survival and self-discovery.
How does Crusoe build his shelter?
He builds a shelter using wood, stones, and other materials from the island and the shipwreck.
What food does Crusoe eat on the island?
He eats fruits, vegetables, goat meat, and fish that he gathers or hunts.
How does Crusoe make tools?
He uses materials from the shipwreck and natural resources on the island to create tools.
Does Crusoe feel lonely on the island?
Yes, he often feels lonely and longs for human companionship.
How does Crusoe stay hopeful?
He keeps busy with tasks, prays to God, and focuses on his survival.
What dangers does Crusoe face on the island?
He faces wild animals, harsh weather, and the threat of cannibals.
How does Crusoe react when he first sees footprints?
He is terrified and fears that others may harm him.
What does Crusoe teach Friday?
He teaches Friday English, Christianity, and European customs.
How does Crusoe deal with the cannibals?
He observes them from a distance and eventually rescues Friday from them.
What does Crusoe do when a ship arrives?
He helps to quell a mutiny and is rescued by the ship's crew.
What happens to Crusoe after he leaves the island?
Crusoe returns to England and finds that his plantation in Brazil has made him wealthy.
Does Crusoe go back to the island?
Yes, in later years Crusoe visits the island again.
How does Crusoe reflect on his experience?
He sees his time on the island as a lesson in faith, patience, and self-reliance.
Does Crusoe reunite with his family?
Yes, but his parents have already died when he returns.
What does Crusoe do with his wealth?
He manages his wealth and helps others.
Why is Robinson Crusoe called a novel of adventure?
It focuses on exciting, life-threatening events and explores new, unknown territories.
How does the book reflect colonial attitudes of its time?
It portrays European dominance over nature and other cultures, typical of the colonial mindset.
Why is the relationship between Crusoe and Friday significant?
It shows the imbalance of power between Europeans and indigenous people during colonialism.
What is the role of God in the story?
Crusoe believes that God controls his fate and uses his hardships to teach him lessons.
How does Defoe portray nature in the novel?
Nature is both a challenge and a resource, showing its dual role in human survival.
Why is Robinson Crusoe still important today?
It addresses timeless themes like survival, adventure, and human resilience.
What literary genre did Robinson Crusoe help establish?
It helped establish the realistic novel as a literary genre.
How has Robinson Crusoe influenced popular culture?
It has inspired numerous adaptations including films, TV shows, and spin-off books.
What is a modern criticism of the novel?
Modern readers criticize its colonial attitudes and portrayal of non-European characters.
What lesson can readers learn from Robinson Crusoe?
The story teaches the importance of perseverance, resourcefulness, and faith in overcoming challenges.